All right, everyone, get ready because today we are diving headfirst into the DFW retail property market.
Ooh, exciting.
I know, right? And we've got this fantastic article from EDG Commercial Management as our guide. It's called Maximizing ROI, Key Strategies for Retail Property Management in DFW.
Catchy title.
Yeah, and it's packed with insights. So whether you're already an investor or just curious about what makes retail spaces tick, this deep dive is for you.
We're going to break it all down, make it easy to understand.
Exactly. By the end, you'll be spotting those winning retail opportunities like a pro. Seriously.
It's a fascinating market, especially in DFW.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone talks about the booming economy there, but what's interesting is how that impacts retail.
It's not just about big businesses, right? It trickles down.
Right, exactly.
And this article highlights how those tech hubs, they're popping up everywhere in DFW.
Yeah,
They're actually driving demand for very specific types of retail spaces.
it makes sense, right? The developers, the tech workers, they need places to hang out,
Hmm.
to network.
Totally. So forget those stuffy office parks. We're talking trendy cafes, where you can grab a latte and brainstorm.
Oh, and those co-working spaces, they're huge now.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
they're like a second home for freelancers and startups.
It's a whole new way of working, and it's changing the retail landscape.
For sure. But it's not just about catering to the tech crowd, right? This article makes a great point about demographics.
It's crucial, absolutely crucial.
Like understanding the wider demographics of the DFW area.
Think about it. A neighborhood full of families is going to have totally different needs compared to like a super hip urban district.
Okay, so lesson one, know your market.
Know your market.
All right, so you've got a handle on that. Then the article dives into this idea of optimizing tenant mix.
I love this concept.
They compare it to a recipe.
Oh, I get it.
You need the right ingredients for the perfect dish.
Exactly. And just like a chef, you have to balance those ingredients.
Right, they talk about anchor tenants, those big name stores that draw the crowds.
Like the ones that make you want to go to the shopping center in the first place.
Yes, and how placing them strategically can benefit all those smaller shops around them.
It's all about synergy, right?
I'm picturing like a classic bookstore
Ah,
next to a coffee shop.
perfect combo.
You grab your book, then head next door for a caffeine boost. Brilliant.
But then let's say that same coffee shop is in an area with tons of families.
Different needs.
Maybe a kids' play area would make more sense.
Or a bakery specializing in birthday cakes.
Yeah, it all boils down to knowing your target audience.
You hit it right on the head. And the article takes this even further, talking about the rise of experiential retail.
Oh, this is a hot topic.
It's not enough to just offer products anymore.
People want experiences.
Experiences, yeah.
Like think escape rooms.
Oh, where you have to solve puzzles to break out?
Exactly. Or those cooking studios where you can learn to make pasta from scratch.
So it's about creating a destination, not just a shopping center.
I love that.
And you know what else is super important? Looks matter.
Oh, absolutely. Presentation is everything.
The article really emphasizes that, enhancing property aesthetics and amenities.
It's like dressing for success.
First impressions are everything.
Think about curb appeal, lush landscaping, well-maintained walkways.
Clear and attractive signage.
You want to create that welcoming atmosphere, draw people in.
It's like when you walk into a hotel lobby.
Yeah,
You instantly get a feeling about the place.
right.
But it goes deeper than just surface-level looks. The article also talks about modern amenities.
The things that make people's lives easier.
Like high-speed internet,
Essential these days.
ample parking,
Always a plus.
and even those charging stations for electric vehicles.
Yeah, you don't want to be left behind.
I thought the article's point about sustainability was spot on.
It's not optional anymore.
It's a must-have.
Integrating eco-friendly practices.
It's good for the planet, good for business.
Think energy-efficient lighting.
Water-saving fixtures.
It appeals to those eco-conscious tenants and customers.
And it can save you money in the long run.
It's a win-win.
Okay, so we've got this great-looking property, the perfect mix of tenants,
Check and check.
and we're doing our part for the environment.
Fantastic.
But what if nobody knows about it?
That's where marketing comes in.
Marketing is
You
key.
got to get the word out.
The article stresses the importance of having a strong online presence,
A must-have in today's world.
and not just any website will do.
You need something that stands out.
High-quality photos,
Absolutely.
virtual tours so potential tenants can walk through the space.
It's like they're already there.
You want to make people fall in love with the property.
Fall in love, yes.
And social media.
Can't forget social media.
It's a must.
It's where everyone is.
I'm picturing Instagram posts showcasing those cool experiential businesses we talked about.
Yeah, those are great for social media.
Maybe a Facebook contest to get the local community involved.
Engagement is key.
The article also mentions getting involved in local events.
That's smart.
Sponsoring a farmer's market, maybe hosting a holiday craft fair.
It's all about becoming part of the community.
Not just a building that happens to be there.
You want to build those connections.
All right, so our marketing machine is humming along.
Love it.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the lease agreements.
Ah, yes, the legal stuff.
The article suggests being flexible with those lease terms.
Makes sense.
A brand new business might hesitate to sign a 5-year lease.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
But something shorter could be a win-win.
Definitely.
Flexibility is key, especially in today's market. Things change so fast.
Absolutely. And the article goes into some interesting options beyond that traditional fixed rent lease.
Oh, like what?
They talk about percentage leases,
Tell me more.
where the rent is actually based on a percentage of the tenant's sales.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a way for the landlord and the tenant to share the risk and reward.
So if the tenant is doing well, the landlord benefits too. Exactly. It's more of a partnership.
That's a great way to put it.
It's not just this, landlord-tenant, us versus them situation.
It's about collaboration.
Exactly. And that's just one example of how the DFW retail market is evolving.
It's dynamic.
Full of potential for savvy investors.
Those who are willing to think outside the box.
That's the key.
Well, that's all the time we have for this part of the deep dive.
Already, time flies when you're having fun.
But don't worry, there's more to come.
We've got more juicy insights to share.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore even more strategies for maximizing your ROI in the DFW retail property market.
Can't wait.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
We're ready to keep going.
We're picking up right where we left off, with those lease agreements.
Oh yeah, the heart of any landlord-tenant relationship.
It's a topic that can be kind of, intimidating, even for experienced investors.
A lot of legal jargon.
But this article, it breaks it all down.
Makes it easy to understand.
So you can feel confident. One thing the article really emphasized was the importance of clarity.
In the lease agreements.
Yeah, you want those lease agreements to be super clear and concise.
No room for misinterpretation.
Exactly. It's like, think of it as a roadmap.
With a landlord-tenant relationship.
Exactly. You want everyone to be on the same page.
And it's not just about protecting yourself legally.
It's about building trust.
With your tenants.
Yeah. Transparency,
So we were talking about those different rent structures earlier.
Oh, yeah, those percentage leases.
Sounds good in theory, but how do you actually make it work in practice?
Well, first off, you got to make sure the percentage you agree on is fair.
Fair for both sides.
Yeah, the landlord and the tenant.
So do some research, right?
Definitely look at industry standards.
Yeah.
Try to understand the tenant's profit margins.
And you need a system for tracking sales.
Oh, absolutely. That's key.
That's where technology can be a game changer.
I was just thinking that.
The article talked a lot about property management software.
It's amazing what's out there these days.
Especially for, if you're juggling multiple properties.
Oh, lifesaver.
I'm picturing automated rent collection.
Oh, yeah.
Streamlined maintenance requests.
Keeps everything organized.
And maybe even software that helps you analyze tenant performance.
You're thinking like a pro now?
It's all about freeing up your time so you can focus on, the bigger picture.
Strategy.
Strategy, exactly.
Instead of chasing down rent checks, you could be using data analytics.
To figure out what's working, what's not.
The article talked about analyzing foot traffic patterns.
Oh, wow.
Understanding customer demographics.
It's like having a secret weapon.
It is. It helps you make informed decisions about your property.
Hold on, wouldn't that require a ton of data?
It does.
Like, where would you even start collecting all that?
Well, there are tools for that.
Oh, okay.
Like some property management software integrates with point-of-sale systems.
So you're getting real-time sales data.
Right from the source.
That's pretty cool.
And there are security cameras with built-in analytics.
You can track foot traffic.
And customer behavior.
That's incredible, like having eyes everywhere.
In a good way.
But doesn't that feel a little, Big Brother-ish?
I see your point. And the article does address that.
Oh, good.
It emphasizes transparency and ethical data collection.
You got to be upfront with your tenants.
Absolutely. Let them know how you're using their data.
Make sure you're complying with all the privacy regulations.
All about building trust.
Right. Trust is essential.
In any business relationship.
Okay, so we've got flexible lease agreements, cutting-edge technology.
Check and check.
But what about the stuff that makes a retail property stand out, really unique?
You're talking about creating a destination.
Yes. Something more than just a place to shop.
That's where understanding your target audience comes in.
Figuring out their needs, their desires.
What kind of experience are they looking for?
The article had this great example.
Oh, yeah.
A property near a university.
Makes sense.
And they incorporated student housing, a bookstore, a coffee shop,
Nice.
and even a small music venue.
Oh, wow, that's smart.
It became a hub for the entire student community.
They thought of everything.
It's like creating an ecosystem that caters to a specific niche.
And with online shopping on the rise,
It's tough to compete.
you got to give people a reason to leave their
A
houses.
reason to experience something special.
Exactly. You can't get that online.
And the tenant mix is a huge part of that.
Oh, for sure.
You want businesses that complement each other.
Creating that synergy we were talking about earlier.
Think back to our bookstore and coffee shop example.
The classics.
Now imagine adding a small art gallery
Ooh, I like that.
or co-working space, but with a focus on creative professionals.
It all starts to tie together.
It's not just a bunch of individual stores, it's a vibe.
A community.
But what if your property isn't in the best location?
That's a challenge.
How do you make it stand out?
Well, you can get creative with your marketing.
Oh.
The article talked about using social media to build a brand,
Yeah, that makes sense.
reaching new audiences,
Think outside the box.
organize events that appeal to specific interests,
Collaborate with local artists, musicians,
create a unique online presence that showcases the property's personality.
so you can turn a perceived weakness into a strength.
Exactly. Like, maybe your property is a bit off the beaten path,
Not in a prime location.
but that means it has ample parking.
And maybe a more relaxed atmosphere.
I play that up. Highlight the positives.
It's all about finding those hidden gems and making them shine.
Showcasing them in a way that resonates with people.
I'm getting really excited about the potential here.
Me too. There's so much opportunity.
The DFW retail market, it's a place where you can really make a difference.
If you're willing to be creative, adaptable.
And we can't forget about sustainability.
That's crucial.
The article really hammered that home, those eco-conscious practices. They're not just a trend.
It's the way of the future.
It is about making responsible choices that benefit everyone and the environment.
We talked about energy-efficient lighting, water-saving fixtures.
Basics.
But what about things like solar panels
Oh, yeah.
or green roofs?
Those are bigger investments.
But they could have a huge payoff.
Long-term, absolutely.
And there are the intangible benefits, too.
Like what?
Well, tenants and customers are more eco-conscious than ever.
For sure.
So promoting those sustainable practices,
It's a great marketing tool.
it attracts like-minded people.
It shows you care.
It's a win-win-win.
You're helping the planet, attracting tenants and customers, and saving money.
Speaking of saving money, preventative maintenance.
Oh, that's so important.
It's often overlooked.
But it can save you a lot of headaches down the road.
It's like taking care of your car, right?
Exactly. Regular checkups, maintenance, it prevents those major issues.
And extends the life of your investment.
Smart thinking.
So I'm picturing a checklist.
Okay, I like it.
Regular inspections of the roof, the HVAC systems, the plumbing.
Catch those small problems before they become big ones. It could save you a fortune.
And don't forget about those common areas.
Oh, right.
Keep them clean, well-maintained. It makes a huge difference for tenant and customer satisfaction.
It all goes back to creating that welcoming atmosphere.
Exactly. You want people to feel good when they're on your property.
But sometimes, even with preventative maintenance, things break down.
It happens.
That's where having a good relationship with your contractors comes in.
Couldn't agree more. The article talked about that too.
Find those reliable contractors
Ones you can trust to do good work.
at a fair price.
It's worth it to build those relationships.
They're like gold.
Exactly. When you have that team of professionals you can rely on.
You can relax a little knowing your property's in good hands.
Peace of mind.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have. It's been a whirlwind.
Lease agreements, technology, sustainability, preventative maintenance.
All connected.
But hopefully you're starting to see how these pieces fit together.
It's like a puzzle.
When you combine them correctly.
You get a successful retail property strategy.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
I've learned a lot.
But we're not done yet.
There's more to come.
Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive
We'll wrap things up
and leave you with some key takeaways.
and some food for thought.
All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive, folks.
We're in the home stretch.
I don't know about you, but I'm still processing all these gems from that EVG commercial management article.
Yeah, it's packed with good stuff.
It's like they crammed a whole retail property management course into, what, like 10 pages?
Seriously. But that's what we're here for, to break it all down.
And one of the biggest takeaways for me, honestly, is just how much opportunity there is in the DFW market.
Oh yeah, DFW is booming.
It's like a perfect storm, you know?
How so?
Strong economy, diverse population. It's just fertile ground for those innovative retail concepts.
And the article really made that point. It's not about just following some cookie-cutter formula.
Right.
You got to be creative, adaptable, willing to take some risks. Calculated risks, of course.
It's about understanding what those tenants and customers want and then exceeding their expectations.
Precisely.
Think about everything we've talked about.
All those experiential businesses,
Yeah.
the emphasis on sustainability, using tech in smart ways.
It's like DFW is embracing the future of retail.
Full speed ahead.
And you know what else stood out to me?
What's that?
The importance of those relationships.
Ah, yes. Couldn't agree more.
With your tenants, your contractors, the community.
They're the foundation of everything.
You know, honestly, when I first started thinking about retail property,
Yeah.
I had this image in my head.
What, like a stereotypical landlord?
Exactly. Just sitting in an office, collecting rent checks, you know.
The old school image.
But this deep dive, it's totally changed my perspective.
In what way?
It's not just about collecting rent. It's about being a partner.
To your tenants.
Yeah, a collaborator, even.
Part of the community.
It's about creating a space where everyone wins.
The businesses thrive, customers feel valued, and the property itself flourishes.
And that brings me to a question that's been bugging me.
Okay, lay it on me.
The article focused a lot on attracting tenants, which is super important, obviously.
Got to fill those spaces.
But what about once they're in? How do you support them, help them succeed?
That's the million-dollar question. It's about going beyond that transactional relationship.
Like a true partnership.
Think about providing resources, mentorship, connecting tenants with each other.
Maybe even events or workshops to help them grow.
You become their cheerleader.
Because their success is your success.
100%. And when you have a property full of successful businesses,
It creates a buzz.
it attracts more customers, the property value goes up, everyone benefits.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the future of retail, especially in DFW.
Me too. There's a lot to be excited about.
It's a region ripe with potential.
And for anyone listening who's ready to jump in, remember what we've learned.
Do your research, understand your market, be creative, be adaptable, and never, ever underestimate the power of those relationships.
And at the end of the day, retail is about people.
It's about creating spaces that bring us together.
Spaces that inspire us, enrich our lives.
That's all the time we have for today, folks.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.